It's Tuesday, the 23rd of February 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's headlines: Crown Resorts will face a Victorian Royal Commission as the gaming company's fortunes go from bad to worse. Plus, bond yields soar, the Aussie dollar and oil prices rise, and copper hits a 9-year high. The huge sums paid to former bosses of Rio Tinto, and what Australians did to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. Our lead story today: Victoria has announced a royal commission into Crown Resorts and its operations in Melbourne's South Bank, throwing the gaming group into turmoil. Following the highly critical Bergen report in New South Wales, which recommended that Crown wasn't suitable to hold a gaming licence in the state, Victoria said it would hold its own royal commission into the allegations raised by Bergen. Many of the most damaging claims in the report, including money laundering and links to junket operators who deal with organised crime, related to Crown's Melbourne casino. Former Federal Court Judge Raymond Finkelstein will report back by August 1 on whether the company is fit to hold a licence in Victoria. The announcement was made after the ASX closed yesterday, and the group's share price will come under pressure this morning. While the Bergen report was damaging, it didn't dent earnings because the casino wasn't yet open. In fact, Crown's share price yesterday was trading higher than when the Bergen report was released. But damaging the Melbourne casino, the jewel in the crown, is a different story. In overseas news, oil prices rose 3% overnight on a raft of predictions that prices will jump in coming months as the economy recovers. Gold prices were also up close to 2%. Copper rose above $9,000 a metric tonne for the first time in 9 years, reflecting investors' concerns about a lack of supply as the world emerges from the pandemic. A new international study has found that AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine offers better protection if the second jab is given 3 months after the first, according to medical journal Lancet. Beijing said overnight that it faced a critical and urgent task to overhaul Hong Kong's electoral system to ensure that Hong Kong governance is firmly controlled by patriots. It suggests China is pushing further to diminish the region's democracy. In Bitcoin, which had hit a new record over the weekend of $58,000, fell by as much as 17% overnight after Elon Musk, founder of Tesla, which bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin recently, tweeted that he thought the cryptocurrency was overvalued. It's since rebounded and is 8% lower than where it started trading yesterday. On to local news, the Aussie dollar jumped 0.7% to over 79 US cents overnight. It's trading at 3-year highs, and the problem with the Reserve Bank is that the currency is too strong. An appreciating currency acts as a handbrake on the economy, and that's not what the central bank wants right now. Federal Parliament is being dominated by allegations of rape in Parliament House. A fourth woman has come forward alleging indecent assault by the same former Liberal staffer, according to the ABC. The Prime Minister and his staff are under fire over what they knew when. The fight between Facebook and the federal government continues. Canberra is withdrawing its advertising spend from the social media giant after Facebook banned news content across its platform last week. The tech group is still pushing for amendments to the proposed media code, expected to be legislated in coming months. As I mentioned yesterday, Bank of Queensland will buy Members Equity Bank for $1.325 billion in cash, bringing together the 9th and 12th largest banks in the country. Chief Executive George Frazee said the deal was game-changing, and the new Bank of Queensland will have total assets of over $88 billion and total deposits of more than $56 billion. Rio Tinto released its annual report yesterday, and often the most interesting news comes from executive remuneration. Former Rio boss John Sebastian Jarks, who lost his job over the destruction of 46,000-year-old gorges in Western Australia, was paid £7.2 million, even though he lost short and long-term bonuses. The biggest winner, though, was Sam Walsh, another former CEO, who received a deferred payment of $17.6 million. During the December quarter last year, there were more lambs slaughtered, 5 million, than all of the pigs, cattle and sheep put together. And there were 170 million chickens slaughtered, making up 323,000 tonnes of meat. And finally, how did Australians manage COVID-19 last year? Data from the Bureau of Statistics show that 86% of people took steps to manage their physical health during the pandemic, and 2/3 did something to help their mental health. The most common activities for physical health were regular walks, regular physical activity, watching or changing diets, and getting enough sleep. In terms of looking after mental health, people organised their home lives better, did more things they enjoy, and thought more positively and set attainable goals. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you've hit subscribe so you don't miss out. There's also more in today's full Fear and Greed podcast, including an interview with Chris Breike, founder and chief executive officer of online investment advisor StockSpot, about exchange-traded funds. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.